Oh. Okay, so this will be the registration table. So tomorrow, the moment the participant and the VIP came, so they will enter this door and they will see this registration table first, and they will register their names and so on. And then they can take a seat. Yes. So this we already labeled the table.
Right now, I'm preparing the tea break session part. So this is our drink area that I will give to them when they want to bring home, and it's also our complimentary gift bag lunch session for them to eat also at our seminar. So there will be a lot of these on our table. When we're
Hi, so here is the table for the speakers. So we have 3 speakers in total. But I am going to put the first speaker tag because tomorrow is the first day. So I'm going to put the speaker 1 first. So for the next day it's going to be speaker 2, and the third day is going to be speaker 3. So this is for tomorrow, the first day. So I'm going to put the first speaker. And then you will sit here and sorry for the mess, little mess here. So I'm going to carry it up the middle. And yeah, so the speaker will stand by here. While maybe the MC is delivering the speech or it's on the prayer recitation. So the speaker will just sit here waiting for the moment to deliver the speech. So as you can see now, we are actually preparing for the seminar. So we're preparing for the
preparing
seats.
for the audience seat.
Yeah.
And also we are reorganizing their
Sitting arrangement. Yes. So everyone can see the speaker. And we also provide them with desks so that they can take notes or put their laptop. Yes. And we are very particular in cleaning, in comfortable for the audiences. So we are now sweeping the floor. We are rearranging the seats so that they will experience the best at the seminar.
So now we are figuring out the seating arrangement, like in our planning, maybe the room or the theater. So yeah, we're figuring it out now.
Yeah, thank you so much. Right. Yeah, thank you. It's our pleasure to invite you here. Thank you so much. So this is our Oh.
And we have an amazing ballroom session.
Thank you so much. So can you have a seat there? Assalamualaikum and good morning, teachers. I hope you are all settled and feeling energized. It is my great honor to kick off our very first content session to guide us through the foundation of effective classroom management. We have an eminent expert in the field. So he's the head of Department of English Language at the University of Malaya, where he also serves as an associate professor. His research dives deep into how technology from computer-assisted language learning to AI and virtual reality, which is shaping the future of education. And he is the perfect person to help us build our foundation for this seminar. So, please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Associate Professor Dr. Lee Luan Eng. Please welcome. Alright, good morning everyone. How are you today? We are fine, okay. Alright, so thank you so much, first of all, to the MC just now. Thank you to the to whom invited me to deliver this speech for the seminar. And it is such a pleasure to be here today as part of this seminar on the title Reimagining English, Empowering Primary Educators in Malaysia. As teachers, we know that no matter how well we plan our lessons or how creative our activities are, everything depends on how we manage our classroom. Today, I'll be sharing about the foundations of effective classroom management, focusing on two main aspects: establishing classroom routines and expectations, and using positive reinforcement to manage behavior. These are the heart of a well-functioning classroom where both teachers and students can learn happily and effectively. First, let's look at the importance of classroom management. Let's start with the basics. Why is classroom management so important? So, classroom management refers to all the action teachers take to create an environment that supports learning. It's not just about discipline or control. It's about building a safe, structured, and positive space where students feel respected and motivated to learn. A well-managed classroom helps reduce disruptions, increase student engagement, and create a sense of community. Research shows that teachers with strong classroom management skills are more effective in improving student learning outcomes and motivation. Without proper management, even the best lesson plan can fail. But when we have strong foundations, clear routines, consistent expectations, and positive behavior systems, students know what to do and learning becomes smoother for everyone. Next, let's take a look at establishing classroom routines and expectations. The first foundation of classroom management is establishing classroom routines and expectations. Routines are the regular patterns or steps we use to organize classroom activities. They guide students in what to do when they enter the classroom, submit homework, form groups, or transition between activities. For example, when students know exactly what to do at the start of every English lesson, such as greeting the teacher, preparing the materials, and beginning with a short warm-up, they feel a sense of predictability and safety. This reduces confusion and saves valuable teaching time. On the other hand, expectations refers to the behavior we want to see in class. These include respecting others, listening when someone speaks, participating actively, and using English whenever possible. When setting expectations, teachers should make them clear, simple, and consistent. For example, instead of saying, "Don't be noisy," we can say, "Speak softly and listen when your friends are talking." Positive phrasing helps students focus on what to do, not what to avoid. Another important step is to involve students in creating these rules. When pupils help shape the classroom rules, they feel a sense of ownership and responsibility. For instance, during the first week of school, we can have a short discussion and ask students what kind of classroom do we want this year. Then, together, write a simple class promise on a poster. By doing this, we are not just setting rules, we are building classroom culture. A positive classroom culture helps students feel respected and valued, which in turn encourages them to behave appropriately. Next, we'll move on to the techniques for positive reinforcement and managing behavior. Now, let's move on to the second foundation. Like I said earlier, techniques for positive reinforcement and managing behavior. Managing behavior doesn't mean punishing students when they make mistakes. Instead, it's about guiding them toward the right behavior through encouragement, consistency, and support. Positive reinforcement means rewarding desired behaviors so that students are more likely to repeat them. This can be done in many simple but effective ways, like verbal praise, points, stickers, certificates, or even just a smile and a well done. For example, if a student answers in English during group activity, the teacher can say something like, "Good job using English. That's what confident learners do." This shows the behavior we want to see and motivates others to follow. According to Skinner's theory of operant conditioning, positive reinforcement strengthens desired behaviors by linking them with pleasant outcomes. In schools, this means celebrating good behavior instead of only correcting bad ones. We can also use classroom reward systems like start of the week, class dojo points, or a group challenge board. These help students to work together toward positive goals. However, it's important to remember that reinforcement should be fair and balanced. Overusing rewards can make students behave only for prizes. So, mix both intrinsic motivation like pride, responsibility, and teamwork, and extrinsic motivation like rewards or praise. When misbehavior happens, respond calmly and consistently. Instead of shouting or embarrassing the student, try strategies such as: first, redirecting their attention, like let's focus on the task again. Second, reminding them of class expectations. For example, like remember our class promise. We listen when others talk. And the third one, reflecting with them after class. For example, like what could you do differently next time? This approach helps students learn self-control and accountability rather than fear. Creating a positive learning environment. Let's take a look at this. Alright, so both routines and positive reinforcement work best in a positive classroom climate. That means teachers model respect, patience, and kindness. When teachers greet students warmly, listen to them, and show understanding, a positive environment helps reduce discipline problems because students feel seen and appreciated. Also, we must remember that classroom management is not one size fits all. What works in one class might not work in another. Teachers need to observe the students' needs, adjust strategies, and reflect regularly. And classroom management is an ongoing process of learning and improving. Next, we'll go through the practical tips for teachers. Here are a few practical tips that I can give for teachers to strengthen classroom management. Okay, the first one is start strong. Try to establish routines and expectations from the very first week. The second one, be consistent. Apply rules fairly and follow through every time. And the third one, model the behavior. Demonstrate the value you expect, such as punctuality, respect, and cooperation. And the fourth one, build relationships. Know your students' names, interests, and backgrounds. Fifth, keep lessons engaging. Both students are more likely to misbehave, as we know. So interactive, varied lessons have maintained focused. And the last one, the sixth one, is reflect regularly. Ask yourself what works and what doesn't, and make some small adjustments along the way. These small actions make a huge difference in maintaining a peaceful, happy, and productive classroom. So for the conclusion in this seminar, remember, effective classroom management is not about strict control. It's about creating structure, building trust, and nurturing positive behavior. By establishing clear routines and expectations, teachers help students understand what to do, how to behave. And by using positive reinforcement, teachers encourage good habits instead of focusing on only mistakes. Together, these strategies form the foundation of successful classroom where both teaching and learning can thrive. As educators, our goal is to guide, not to punish, to inspire, not to control. When we manage our classrooms with care, consistency, and positivity, we are not just teaching English. We are teaching life skills, character, and confidence. That is all from me. Have a great day, lovely future teachers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Lee, for that incredibly insightful session. You have given us so many practical strategies for classroom routines and positive reinforcement. And I'm sure that all of you have questions. We have about 10 minutes scheduled for Q&A. If you have a question, please raise your hand and we will bring the microphone to you.
Yeah.
And so the hall that we are using now. So this is our seminar.
Me?
Thank you so much for coming. We are so honored to have you here. So let me show you the seminar room. Right there. Thank you for inviting me. So this is my pleasure.
Good morning everyone and welcome to our second day of the seminar. So, after building our foundation in the classroom management and digital tools yesterday, today we are going to focus on the specific needs of our learners. And to lead our session today, we are thrilled to have Dr. Fatiha Senong with us. Dr. Fatiha is a senior lecturer in the Department of Language and Literacy Education at the University of Malaya. And her expertise is the very heart of what this seminar is about. And she is specialized in TESOL, teaching English to young learners, and the professional development of the new and preschool ESL teachers. So, her first session today is one of the most requested topic, which is differentiated instruction. So, please put your hands together for Dr. Fatiha Senong. Please welcome.
So, good morning everyone. I'm very delighted to be here at this inspiring seminar. So, as an English teacher, we all know that every learner in our classroom is different. Some are fast learners, some classroom is different, some need more time, and some love to speak, while others are shy but creative. So, today I'll be sharing about differentiated instruction and teaching the 4 language skills effectively. There are 2 important aspects that can help us make English learning more inclusive, meaningful, and enjoyable for our students. So, the first one is understanding differentiated instruction. So let's start with differentiated instruction. In simple words, it means teaching with the learner's different mind. So it's about recognizing that one single method cannot meet every student's need. So, for example, where teachers adjust content, process, and product based on students' readiness, interest, and learning profile. For example, when teaching a topic like daily routines, we can use different tasks. So for the first one, for visual learners, we can show them a bit of short animated video to make them interesting for what we are teaching. For second one is auditory learners, we can use song or chant. For kinetic learners, we can act out the routines using gestures So there are some key strategies for differentiation. There are many simple ways we can differentiate in our ESL classroom. So the first one, we can differentiate by content. For us teachers, we can give easier text to beginners and more challenging ones to advanced learners, so that we can allow our students to use word banks and pictures to support their understanding for what we are teaching. The second one is differentiate by process. So the students work in pairs, groups, or independently depending on their confidence level. So we can offer task choices like drawing or writing short notes, or even using sentence frame. Other than that, we can also differentiate by product. Some students can write using full sentences, and while others may use labeled pictures. So we can celebrate all effort equally to build motivation and confidence. So the goal is not to make everyone do the same task, but to help every student reach the same learning objective through different paths. So there are some benefits of this teaching method, which is this differentiation. So when teachers differentiate, 3 positive things can happen. Students become more engaged because lessons match their strengths, and classroom behavior improves because the students can focus when tasks are within their ability, and also the learning outcomes increase because everyone participates actively. So, remember, differentiation is not extra work. It's a smart work that saves time and help the students to succeed. Teaching the four language skills effectively. There are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So these skills are the foundation of English learning, and they should be taught in an integrated way, not separately. For example, for listening, so listening is the first skills that the children will develop. We can use short, meaningful audio like songs or stories or teacher's talk with gestures. So after they listen, we can ask simple questions to check their understanding when we are teaching. The second one is speaking. So we can encourage students to speak in English daily, even in short phrases like can I go to the bar, can I go to the toilet, or my favorite food is. So they can use pair work and group games such as find someone who, what, or describe and guess the word. So these games can make speaking fun, and it is low pressure. And the third one is reading. So we can start with familiar or simple text using colorful storybooks, shared reading, and choral reading. So it can teach the students to identify sight words and use pictures for meaning. So for the fourth learning skill is writing. So we can support writing through scaffolding. We can start with copying, then fill in the blank, then guided writing. So we can provide models and sentence starters such as I like and because, and we can praise more than accuracy to build their confidence in writing. So when we integrate these four skills through stories, projects, or role play, the students can see how English works in real communication and not just on paper. So besides differentiation and language skills, we must also make learning culturally relevant. So in Malaysia, Malaysia is beautifully diverse. Our students come from different ethnic, linguistic, and cultural backgrounds. So a culturally responsive teacher respect these differences and use them as a learning resources. For example, we can use local names, plays, or festivals in your example. So we can encourage the students to share their own tradition or celebration in English. So as teachers, we can also include stories or songs from multiple cultures to build understanding and respect. So when the children see their own culture reflected in lesson, they feel valued, and when they learn about others, they will become more open-minded about a lot of cultures. So lastly, let's talk about collaborative learning. So language grows best when it is shared. Activities like ThinkPad Share, jigsaw reading, or group projects allow the students to learn from one another. So collaboration builds teamwork, communication, and empathy. It also shifts the classroom focus from teacher talk to student talk, making learning more active and meaningful. So to manage this effectively, we can use like they can create groups, small group that consists 3 to 4 people, and we can assign clear roles like leader, writer, and timekeeper, so that everyone can learn with different friends. Here are a few quick takeaways for all teachers. So you need to know more about your students, observe their interest and readiness, plan flexible tasks with different level of support. You can use visual, song and real-life material to make the learning more meaningful. So it can create a classroom culture where the mistakes are part of the learning. So we can reflect often. Ask yourself, did everyone learn something today? What did they learn? Okay. So in conclusion of this differentiated instruction, we can integrate 4 skills and culturally responsive teaching in all about one thing, which is inclusion. So every child deserves to be seen, supported and successful in the English classroom. As teachers, we are not just teaching grammar or vocabulary, we are shaping confidence, empathy and lifelong curiosity. So let's continue to reimagine English teaching to make it creative, inclusive and full of heart. Thank you, and I wish everyone a fruitful and inspiring seminar ahead.
So thank you so much, Dr. Fatiha, for the most insightful session ever. So before we go to our tea break this morning, I will open a Q&A session for you guys if you have a lot of questions to ask. So only 10 minutes, and then we will go to our tea break. Okay, so do you have a question?
Hi, welcome teacher. How should I call you?
Hi.
Teacher Amy. Okay, lovely name. So here is the template for the seminar today. So yeah, I need you to write down your name here, and also your phone number. Then your number from here. Alright, thank you so much, teacher Amy. So you may have a seat there. Anyway, you can sit. Alright, welcome.
Hi, so is everything okay? Are you comfortable? Do you need us to help you set up this slide?
So actually, I need you to connect my.
Okay. So here are the materials that you can use. You can also use our whiteboard. So here is the marker. So okay, we will help you set up your laptop. Okay?
Alright. Thank you very much.
So here are the tickets for our seminar that you can use to take notes. So this is the seminar kit, the stationery you can use it too. Yeah, hope you have a great time in our seminar. Okay? Feel good? Alright, thank you.
So before we begin our seminar today, let us raise our hand and pray the recitation of the dua, which will be led by by Muhammad Hafiz Batrishan and Muhammad Nasri. Okay, so please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma ighfir lana dhunubana wa li walidina warhamna kama rabbayana shaghira. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi baraka wa sallam. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Okay. Alright, all the food and beverages is already set. Okay, now time to. Right, so all teachers can take their food here. Teacher Amy, you can have your food. So here is the food called the lunch.
Thank you.
And one for you.
Thank
This
you.
one, okay? Okay. Alright.
Thank you.
Have a great meal.
Thank you.
Good morning, lovely teachers. So it is my great honor to introduce our next distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Azira Hashim. She is a professor of linguistics at the Faculty of Languages and Linguistics, University of Malaya, and currently serves as the executive director of the Asia Europe Institute, as well as the director of the Center of ASEAN Regionalism at University of Malaya. So Professor Dr. Azira is a highly respected linguist with extensive experience in global academic collaborations. Throughout her career, she has held various leadership positions such as Dean and Director at the University of Malaya, and has been actively involved in both national and international projects related to linguistics and applied linguistics. So her research focuses on language contact in the ASEAN region, English as a lingua franca language in law, and higher education in ASEAN, areas that have significantly contributed to the advancement of linguistic studies in our region. In recognition of her outstanding contributions, she currently serves as the president of the Malaysian Association of Applied Linguistics and the vice president of the International Association of Applied Linguistics. She has also received various honorary memberships and fellowships for her scholarly excellence. Without further ado, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Dr. Azira Hashim as she delivers her speech for today's seminar. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Dr. Azira Hashim.
So, good morning everyone and welcome to our final day and specifically to this crucial session on assessment for learning, or if we shorten it, we will call it as AFL. So, first of all, I would like to start our session today with a challenging question. So, what if the primary purpose of an assessment wasn't to give a grade, but instead to guide the students to the very next steps in learning? And that shift in thinking is the core of EFL. So, we are moving away from assessment of learning, which is the final summative test, to a more continuous minute-by-minute process that shows us what students are learning now, so we can adjust our teaching immediately. So, this framework is popularized by educational researchers, which is very famous, such as Paul Black and Dylan Wiliam. So, it's all about making learning visible. And today, we will focus on two powerful practical pillars that you can use in your primary English classroom, which is creative formative assessment techniques and constructive feedback strategies. So, moving on to the first pillar, creative formative assessment techniques. So, formative assessment is about getting a quick, honest snapshot of the understanding, which is we need that methods that are fun, fast, visual for our young learners. So, there are several ways in doing this, and the first one is exit ticket, or we can change it to traffic light tickets. So, you have likely heard of exit tickets, which is a quick task before leaving the classroom. And for primary English, how about we change it into something that we call that's simple and more visual, and we change the name to traffic light ticket. So it is very simple. And at the end of this short lesson, you can ask students to reflect on the learning goal. For example, did I learn how to use the word yesterday correctly? And they will use their notebook or a small slip of paper and to color a quick circle. And this color will be divided into 3 colors, which is green, which means I got it and I could teach someone. And yellow, which is I'm a little confused about certain part. And red, which means help, I don't understand. So, using this can help you to give a color-coded plans in seconds, and you will instantly know who needs immediate review and who can serve as a peer tutor the next day. The second way is peer feedback, which is we name it as 2 stars and a wish. So, peer assessment is essential for collaboration, but in its structure. So, in order to prove this, we will use the positive structure of 2 stars and a wish method. So, when students review a partner's work, they must first give 2 stars, or in a simple word is praise. Identify 2 specific successful things their partner did well. For example, the star is that you use capital letters correctly and you spell neighbor right. 1 wish, which is suggestion. Give 1 specific and kind suggestion for improvement. For example, my wish is that next time you use question mark when you ask a question. So, teachers, you have to remember to model this process using anonymous work sample first, so that students will understand the difference between vague praise and constructive input. So the third way is quick checks, which is feast to five. So for an immediate whole class check, teachers can use the feast to five techniques, which is asking a question about their confidence of the lessons and lesson objective. So students hold up fingers. So feast. If the students give you a feast, that means I don't understand anything. If they give you 5 fingers, that will mean that I understand everything and I could teach the whole class. So this is very instant and very visual. So if you see many ones or twos, you need to re-explain the concept and very right there. So, and then we will move on to the second pillar of this, which is constructive feedback strategies. So gathering data is only half the battle. The true power of AFL is, as emphasized by the feedback experts like John Hattie, lies in what you do with the evidence. So effective feedback is specific, actionable, and future focused. So the first way to make this is focus and specificity. So when correcting students' work, you have to, especially in English, where errors are frequent, so do not correct everything. That simply overwhelms the students. So instead, what you can do is choose 1 or 2 keys learning objective to focus on. If the LO was using describing words or adjectives, only comment that like this: great description. Your next step is to remember to put a comma after your opening phrase, like suddenly the big dog barked. I have circled 1 spot for you to fix. So by doing this, you as a teacher are giving them a single clear target in making success achievable. The second way is feedback sandwich. I think most of you as teachers has already heard about this feedback sandwich. So for primary learners, feedback sandwich is a positive, memorable structures because first, they have a praise. The top of the slice which the teacher will put at the top of the slides. Which means start with something genuine that they did well. For example, you have neat handwriting and wrote full sentences, 7 full sentences. And then at the middle of the slides, the teacher will put a suggestion. So for example, provide a specific actionable correction like next time, try to use more action verbs to make your sentence more exciting. And at the bottom slice of the feedback sandwich, the teacher can put encouragement. So and on a positive and encouraging note. For example, keep practicing. Your stories are great. Your stories are getting so much better. So to make it easy, I just say that feedback sandwich is at the top of the slides, you give a good review, and then at the middle you give a suggestion, and then at the bottom you give an encouragement for the students. And the third way is closing the loop, closing the learning loop, which is a response time. So feedback is useless if students just read it and ignore it. So instead, you must ensure that they act on it. This is called closing the learning loop. So what you can do here is dedicate 5 to 10 minutes at the start of the next lesson to response time. Students are required to read the feedback you provided and perform specific action. For example, you can fix this error you circle or rewrite the sentence using the new vocabulary you suggested. So, this ensures the feedback becomes a tool of improvement and not just a measure of past performance. And so, as a conclusion, I want you to remember these 2 pillars of AFL, which is use creative, fast technique like traffic light and fist to 5 method to gather evidence instantly. And second, use specific, future-focused strategy like the feedback sandwich to drive learning forward. So, my challenge to you as a teacher is to be intentional. Choose one creative assessment technique and one feedback strategy to implement next week. Start small, be consistent, and watch your students become active, empowered to participate in their own learning. So, that's all for me. Thank you.
I'm sorry, but it seems that I cannot log into the website.
Oh, so let me help with that. What are you having trouble with?
It seems that even though I put in my details, it cannot register my name.
Oh, okay. So let me help you with that. Did you put it in yet?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now it's okay now. You can use it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Try out.
This one later on, but not too long. We don't have in the